Okay guys, welcome back to the Southern Rustic. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my recipe for blueberry biscuits with a lemon glaze. They are so delicious. They are great for spring and summer when the berries are fresh. If you don't have fresh, you can definitely use frozen. No worries there. So I'm just going to gather my ingredients and I will meet you back here and I'll give you a rundown on what you will need. Okay guys, I've got all of my ingredients together. They're all right here. And we're just going to start over here. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and a pinch of salt. This is 1/4 cup of sugar. You can use stevia. This is powdered milk. Now I love adding this to my biscuits. It gives it a wonderful flavor, but if you don't have it, you don't need it. But this is just 1/4 cup of powdered milk. Blueberries. I love to pick my blueberries and then freeze them so that way I have them throughout the winter. You're going to need vanilla. You're going to need about a teaspoon of that. Lemon zest and lemon juice. 2 cups of cold flour. Just measure out your flour, pop it in the freezer for about 20 minutes, good to go. 1/4 cup of Crisco. Do the same with that, just measure it out, pop it in the fridge, let it get cold. 3/4 cup of cold milk. Measure it out, pop it back in the fridge until you get ready to use it. And that's all of the ingredients, guys. We're just going to get ready to make these and I will be right back. Okay guys, first things first, you're going to preheat your oven to 450 degrees about 15 minutes before you're ready to make your biscuits, so that way the oven is nice and hot. If you hear any noise in the background, those are my 2 pups. They're playing. They do this every time I get the camera out. They are quiet all day. When I get the camera out, they're ready to go. So if you hear anything in the background, that's my pups. Just ignore them. So let's just get right on into this, guys. Okay guys, first we're going to mix our dry ingredients. You're going to start by adding your baking powder, salt, and baking soda. Your powdered milk if you're using it. If not, just don't worry about it. It will work just fine without it. Your sugar. Now I'm using stevia, but you can use just plain sugar if that's what you like. You're just going to give this a quick little mix. Okay, now you're just going to add in your Crisco. And you can use either a fork or a cutter like this and just cut in your Crisco into your flour mixture until it gets coarse crumbs. Now when it comes to making biscuits, you want to make sure all of your ingredients are cold. So if you pre-measure them out and then just pop them in the freezer or the fridge just a few minutes before you're ready to use them, will ensure that they're cold enough before you get started. That's pretty much one of the ways to ensure that your biscuits are light and fluffy. Just mix your Crisco in until it gets a light crumb. Now everything's not going to be mixed together, so just keep that in mind. Just make sure there's like little pea-sized bits in there. Now we're just going to add in our milk and our vanilla. Now you can go ahead and add your vanilla to your milk and give that a stir. Now make sure to keep this out for your glaze. You're going to need that in the lemon later, along with some powdered sugar. But I'll go over those ingredients when we get there. So now what you're going to do is slowly stir while you pour in your milk. This just to ensure that all of the milk and the flour gets incorporated nicely. Now you don't want to over mix your batter or your biscuit dough because that will make a really tough biscuit dough. So you just want to stir this just a few times, just to incorporate the majority of your biscuit dough. Now you're just going to put down a little bit of flour on your work surface, not too much, because you don't want these to be too dense, but you can certainly add more if you need to. And then just put out your biscuit mix. Now we're going to start creating layers. So what you're going to do is you're just going to pat this out as thin as you can get it. Make sure to flour the top in your hands. Now you're going to add in your blueberries. Now I'm using frozen blueberries. You're just going to fold this over and press down. If anything falls out, that's fine. Just plop it on the top and it will mix in. You don't want to over mix this because then it will get too tough, like I said. And then you're just going to pat this out. Add a bit more flour on top. Okay, that looks alright. Guys, I have my biscuit pan. This is just a pancake pan, cast iron, but you don't have to use cast iron if you don't want to. This is just what I like to use, and I've buttered it with butter. Now you're just going to use a cookie cutter and just cut the biscuits straight down. Don't twist. Pop them out. Place them on your pan. Now when you get to this part, just kind of smush it back together and just kind of layer it again. It's going to get messy at this point, but that's okay. It just makes a more colorful biscuit. And then just pat it back out and cut you some more biscuits. And try to use all of the biscuit dough. But when you get down to the last bit of dough, it's going to get to where you can't use all of the dough. But then just kind of smush it down and use what you can. And what's left over you can just toss. Alright guys, I have some melted butter here. You're just going to brush the tops of these with butter. It just helps them stay moist while cooking. And they get that nice golden brown top. Oh, these smell amazing already. Now, just pop these in a 450-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes or until the tops gets really nice and golden brown. Okay, the biscuits are in the oven. Now we're going to make the glaze. I have 2 tablespoons of butter left over in this pan that I just melted it in, and we're just going to use that so I don't use any more dishes. Less cleanup. You're going to need powdered sugar, your lemon juice and lemon zest, and then you're going to need 1 tablespoon of milk and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I already have it mixed in here, so that's ready to go. So let's just get this going, and when the biscuits get done, we'll pop it on the biscuits. Alright, to my butter, I'm just going to go ahead and zest my lemon. Make sure you don't get the white part of the lemon. It will make everything bitter. All right. Now we're just going to give this lemon a squeeze. Just directly into the pot with the butter. Along with your milk and your vanilla. Just give this a little whisk. Now you're going to add in between 1 to 2 cups of powdered sugar. So we're just going to do a half a cup at a time. And then just give this a whisk. And just mix this until it gets thick but runny. And all of the lumps in the powdered sugar are gone. Okay guys, I added right at about 2 cups of powdered sugar. You want it to be thick but runny. And we're just going to use this as a glaze to pour all over the biscuits. So when the biscuits get done, we'll go ahead and pour this over and we'll be ready to go. Okay guys, the biscuits are done and they've got a nice golden brown color on top. Now we're just going to pour this glaze right over the top of all of them. And this glaze is absolutely wonderful. You don't have to make that much for this particular recipe, but I find it just works well. You just have more balance of the glazed biscuit and it just complements each other very well. Alright guys, I've got my plate and I don't know about you, but I am ready to taste test this. It's absolutely amazing. Look at that center. It is absolutely gorgeous. You guys, this biscuit is absolutely amazing. It is great for a quick breakfast in the summer or the spring with the fresh blueberries, and that lemon glaze just takes it right over the top. It's absolutely divine. If you don't want it that sweet, you can certainly leave off the glaze or just make half the glaze and pour it over the top. Either way, it is absolutely delicious. So yeah guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Hit that little red subscribe button down below. I would love to have you join us at the Southern Rustic. So yeah guys, that's going to be it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.